going to talk about High Brazil, the legendary, mythical island of High Brazil, said to be off the coast of Ireland in the Atlantic Ocean. There's a lot of different stories about this, so let's get into it. Now, here it is as it appears on old maps. People questioning whether it's a fake or whether it's real. Or we're sitting out here in two halves with a channel between them. And this is like quite an old map. I'm not sure. The older one previously to this, I think, was around 1325 or something stupid like that. And again, a kind of a more modern map. Can't say what date it is. I don't remember the date. They're totally all these dates. But here we go. Brazil, High Brazil. And there's another island down here which is called Dillinger. And that name changed later, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. These places, they say, obviously they don't exist. They're not there. So we'll see. And here's another depiction of it, of another map. And again, it shows two halves and something going down the middle of it. And that there now, that's a pretty old map. What year? Don't know. Here's another one, and it looks like a more modern map. It looks like a more accurate depiction of Ireland, even though we don't know what shape it is. Whatever they tell us, we believe it. And on here it says, Imaginary Island of High Brazil. I don't know what that says. Nuke. I don't know, but it's the same island that we were talking about earlier on, Dillinger. And again here on another map, on a 1724 map, Rocher de Brazil, or the Rock of Brazil, sticking out there in the Atlantic Ocean. Ask any airline pilot, is that out there? How would he know? He has to stick to his flight paths. He's not going to deviate. I mean, you got to leave Shannon and you got to fly to New York and back. If it's there, they're going around it. Again, Brazil and Dillinger. And a few minutes ago on a map, it was called Nuke. And again, there it is sticking out there, looking almost like a yin-yang. Red on one side, green on the other. Do Brazil, or Do Brady, whatever. Yeah. Now here we go again. This even looks like a much older map. And you've got Hula de Brazil. And now you've got this place called Las Medas. So it went from Dillinger to Nuke to Las Medas. Maybe it got nuked. That's why they call it Nuke. Another thing is shipping lanes. And you have to, there's a big ports down there along the south of Ireland, so ships have to come in and out. So are ships' captains lying about what they see through the binoculars out through their windows, just like many airline pilots? So, now that we go on to Google Maps, let's have a look inside this region. Because if it's there, it's in this region. Yeah? And now, as you can see on Google Maps, on a little bit of the cleaning up of the picture, we got this baby sitting here. Could be, it looks like it's a underwater mountain or a hill or something like that there. And there's this other thing down here. So whether they're sticking up out of the water, whether they are under the water, they there. So here you've got what looks like High Brazil and Las Medas, or Nuke, or Dillinger. Oh, boy, they like changing names, don't they? You know, so with a little bit of cleaning up, we've got something quite visible, quite obvious on Google Maps, sticking up out of the water. What a myth. Let's bust this myth. Now, just to get off topic for a second, this is another mythical island. appears on many old maps, but it's not on any modern maps. The Isle of Friesland, and it had many cities on it. I mean, they're running a big con on us. History's running a con, geography's running a con. We have no way of finding out. And that's Iceland and Friesland together. So obviously it was beside Iceland. How they got rid of it, who knows? Now, so let's go on to the marine traffic map. So this is one of the most important bits of technology for seafaring people, ships captains, the world over. And every ship and every boat that's on the ocean is on this marine traffic map. They are watching everything. That's why you can't cross the Atlantic with contraband. You can't get anywhere with anything now. They've got everything. I don't know whether your ship needs a transponder or not for them to pick you up. But all of these arrowed things are all ships. And you can, cargo ships, tankers, fishing boats, any kind of boat, any kind of ship that's out there, they need to know where it is. If you have an emergency, obviously they want to be first out there to save you, you know. So you can click on any of these at any time and they'll give you the full details of all the ships. I got another video coming on the marine traffic map because it can't lie and it's placing ships in places where they shouldn't be. Now around Ireland you have these circular things. Now these are ports. And you've got Westport and Galway and Limerick here and Shannon and Foy, whatever it's called, Cork and Waterford and Rosslare and other places around in Dublin Port and Dunleary Port and Clogherhead and Warren Point, and you got ports. So you've got ports and you've got ships. Now I have one question. What the fuck is that? And what the fuck is that? They are ports. So what the fuck are ports doing out there in the middle of the ocean where we ain't got nothing? Unless Hy Brasil is sticking up out of the water and Las Medas or Nuke or Dimar or whatever you want to call it is still sticking up out of the water. Otherwise they wouldn't have a freaking port on it. And a ship pointing straight at it. I get a bit passionate about these things because finding out all these lies that they've been telling us about our world, the history of our world, the geography of our world, they have created things like this marine traffic map so that they can keep an eye on everybody out there in the ocean. And of course they have to have their ports marked on it and everything else. So, big mistake. Big stupid mistake. So what's going to happen next week? Are we going to go on marine traffic map next week and find out, oh, Hy Brasil's gone. Oh, Nuke is gone as well. They've nuked it. So there it is, people. I've shown you a dozen old maps where many seafarers and everybody else that's been out there, map makers, over the centuries, have these two islands off the coast of Ireland, gone off all recent maps in the past 200 years or whatever. But now you go on the marine traffic map and you get two frickin' ports sticking out there in the middle of the ocean. So this is starting to make sense. Other people say, oh, this is not making sense to me. It's making fucking sense to me. Because I know how these people con us. Now, airline captains coming in from New York all the way into Shannon, they are going to have to fly around this. And airline pilots, if they say, oh, whoops. Whoops. Airline pilots have, they say, oh, guess what I saw out through the window of the airplane? You're fired. Funny, today when I was flying, I could see islands 200 miles away over the curvature. You're fired. Ship's captain's coming in. Oh, look. Whoops. So, if they do know about it, they're not going to say anything about it. I ain't getting on a currach and rowing out there to see if it's there. So make of it what you will, people. We're being conned. We got islands out in the ocean that they don't want to tell us about. Now, what about our Ministry for Fisheries? The Minister for Fisheries and the Minister for the Ocean and the Minister for whatever. Does he know about it? Is he keeping it from you? Anyway, that's as far as I'm going to bring that for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and catch you all soon.